We are live. Give me a second, as always, to get my crap together, as they say. To be polite. Hope everyone's having a great night. Looking forward to Tuesday night. Oh, it's been a heck of a day. Very exciting. Bear with me for a second. I just gotta do some house cleaning. Done. There we go. Comments. Music talk with you're up against Waxed. That's okay. He's no competition. I told him to get off. Glenn is on. John, the Waxed is no competition. Look at this. I mean, who's he got on? Some jazz guys. I don't know. Didn't get the link. Rob, I don't know why you don't get the link. I email it to you. I don't understand. I'm going to put the link up for Rob. I don't understand why he doesn't get my emails. Paste. There you go, Rob. It's up there. If Chris Propfe happens to be watching, Chris, the link's up there. Hello, Mr. Basement. Yes, I'm going to change my name legally to Basement. Glenn Basement. We have Christian winning. Yes, there he is. Ladies and gentlemen, I need to introduce this man. The biggest Beatles fan in the world, Rob from Northern Revolutions. How you doing, buddy?
I'm good. How are you?
Good.
Good.
Good to see you.
You too. I don't know why. Whenever it seems the last few weeks, you send me the link and it doesn't show up in my inbox till like 3 hours later. So
that's weird.
I know.
I don't get it. You got to pay for your internet. I don't know.
I do.
Yeah, we all get the bill at the end of the month.
No kidding.
Yeah. But I'm getting praise for my video today. Enjoyed your King Crimson video today. Only have Court of the Crimson King. You need more, Christian. Get Islands. Get Red. LOL. Thanks, John. Awesome. What's going on, buddy?
Not too much. Working like a crazy person.
Yeah? Oh, I don't like that. Hear that.
Oh, well, I'm in sales and there's only 2 of us in Ontario and the other guy quit.
No way.
Which is a good thing because I'm taking his job, which means a promotion.
Oh, cool.
But now I'm busy as hell and I got to hire 2 people. So it's just not enough for me to go around right now.
Oh, can I had a very successful sales career. Can I come and work for you?
Absolutely.
Okay. I could sell ice to an Eskimo.
There you go.
Wow. That'd be cool. Should I go back to work?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
But I'd have to move out your way. Or can you live anywhere?
Well, where you live would be perfect, actually.
Really?
Yep. I need someone to cover Eastern Ontario.
Oh, wouldn't that be something?
See?
Wouldn't that be funny? Going back to work. They probably wouldn't hire old guys, would they?
Well, I'm the one hiring.
Most companies are looking for young.
It's whoever I want to hire.
Oh.
The only drawback to the job is just whoever I hire would be working for me.
Do you get a company car?
Yep.
Oh.
I drive a Lincoln SUV.
Oh, you get a car allowance. You don't get.
No. They give me a budget and I buy whatever I want. They own it, so I drive a Lincoln MKC. Wow. Yeah.
No way. Wow.
Yep.
Geez, we need to talk. Maybe I should go back to work.
I'm sure your wife would love that.
She probably would love it.
Get out of the house.
Yeah. That'd be pretty cool. Are you on the road a lot or are you home?
I'm home every night, but I'm in the car every day. I mean, I'm in Toronto most of the time.
Yeah.
So.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, I did the same thing my whole working life, so I enjoyed it. Sam Grungy St. John is with us.
There he is.
I didn't see Chris yet. Did I? Don't know.
Well, see, I was looking at an email, and so I've been texting him, and I just said that y'all were live and that the link was in the chat. So he saw it, and he's on the way.
Okay, cool, awesome, perfect. Tonight we're doing our
Favorite show
where is it?
tunes of the 90s, right?
There it is, ranking our top 10 songs of the 90s.
This was
Wow.
tough.
Wow, Rob drives a Lincoln MKX. Yeah,
Nice.
not bad. That's pretty cool. These days, getting the company car and everything. Wow.
I've had a company car for 20 years, so it's been great.
The first year I started working for the company, I worked for this other company for like 6 or 7 years, and then I got a job with the company I worked with for like 25 years, and before I retired with. And I had a company car with the first company I was with, and then I moved on to the other company. They had company cars; it was great. And then after 1 year, they took all the company cars away and made us buy our own cars. Like just at a snap of a finger, I got to come up with a down payment for a new car. Like, where's that $7,000 coming from?
I'm fortunate because I'm 45 and I've only ever owned my own vehicle for 5 years of my life. The rest
So
of the
do they
time,
pay the car insurance and
they
everything?
pay everything:
what
gas,
about
insurance,
gas?
maintenance, everything.
Really?
They own it, so it's their car.
Yeah.
But
do you get? Is that you get taxed on it as a employment
Yep.
benefit, like a benefit?
Yep.
Yeah. Wow. Very cool.
Yeah.
Oh, I drive a Lincoln. Yeah. Wow. That's pretty cool. Yeah. So we're all ready for the 90s tonight?
We are.
It
I've
was
struggled.
it was funny before the video. I meant to do my top 10 prior, and I had my whole list of like 17, 18 songs. Actually, I had 20 songs listed, and I realized I hadn't put down my top 10 yet. And so I literally just put the top 10 together 10 minutes ago.
Well, it was funny. We just Sam and I just finished our recording our Hall of Fame thing on Rich Strickler's channel, and before Sam came on, because surprise, Sam was a couple of minutes late.
Had to catch Jeopardy.
The guys were asking what our topic was tonight, and I was telling them, and then a couple of those guys like Doc and Brian, they're 90s guys, and they were throwing. Well, I was going. I struggled. I said I had to kind of pick albums, and then pick some like deep cuts mostly. And they're going, well, what about this song? What about that song? I'm going, oh shit, man, I'm writing it down. I forgot that album came out in the 90s, and then I'm switching my list.
My problem was I had too many choices. Because I was a teenager in the 90s, so that was my
wow.
That was when I got into music. So I was kind of like, do I pick songs I loved then? Do I pick songs that I love now? So I ended up with kind of a mix of both.
Yeah. Wow. Unreal.
Chris said that he's
John drives a Kia Sedona. I actually like Kias. I am jealous. A Kia Sedona is a nice vehicle.
Chris said he's logging into another laptop. The other one that he was on wasn't working.
Okay, that's fine. I went to log on this thing tonight and get everything going, and I get a thing saying, they want to verify that I'm who I am. I had to go on my iPad, go to my YouTube app, push a button, said, yes, it's me, and then put a number in or something that would match the one on the laptop. I'm going, geez, I'm going to be late.
We just adjusted our verification system at work, because the president of our company, he has a history in banking, and so he's really trying to get us more secure because there's just ton of cyber fraud out there that you don't think about, even in the furniture business, but it's there, and so
if someone takes it,
it just officially went into implementation Monday this week. So
I worked for a big international company, and boy, I'm telling you, security on the internet was something else. They had to change our passwords every frickin' 5 minutes.
I work for an international corporation as well, and we have no cybersecurity at all.
Wow.
None.
What's up, guys?
We even use our own laptop.
Hey,
who's here?
Hey, Chris.
Chris.
I'm on my phone. Can you hear me okay?
Yep.
Yeah, for whatever reason,
it's a little quiet, but say something.
I said for whatever reason my laptop's not working.
Now we can hear you perfect.
I think his hand was on the mic.
Yeah. You're actually better looking on your phone than you are on your laptop. I hardly recognized you. Oh, now he looks really good in the dark.
You offended him too early.
That's how I look best.
In the dark?
In the dark. Yeah. I'm Leonardo DiCaprio in the dark.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
I'm
scared him
somebody.
away.
And in the light, I'm Elephant Man. Oh, he's coming on another one. Here, remove that one.
No.
He's there's. Isn't your brother on the other screen here?
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
Okay, I got to kick that one. Oh, don't do that.
He's
I
trying to
just
kick
looked at
you
that.
off
I don't know
already.
how to get rid of that other one that you got going.
I don't
It's
see it on
okay.
the screen.
We
I
don't
think-
see it, so
down
you're
there.
good.
Okay, it's just sitting down below.
So I don't
Yeah.
think I've ever done a video with Rob before.
You
Rob,
have not.
This is Chris. Chris, this is Rob.
We know each other. We just haven't. We haven't
Oh,
live
okay.
chatted before. How
Yes.
you doing, brother?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm well.
Thanks for coming on with us tonight, Chris. This is great.
Thanks for the invite.
Yeah, been excited to have you.
We were talking the first time that we had a guest on, and because we had Brian from Embryonic Robot for the 80s.
Yeah.
And we were thinking, who's somebody that loves the 90s? And like you were the first person that I thought of, because that was kind of those are your coming up years. And
Yeah, I was trying to think of which way to take this list, because I spent the bulk of the 90s in college. So, and it was the time obviously of alternative rock. So, but then I was also listening to country music too. And so I was like, which way do I take this? So I kind of thought in terms of, what were we listening to in college? So that's where this list is coming from. But like I was telling you today, Sam, I've looked at it. I put it on my phone and Spotify, and I've been like, revamping it and going, oh, I should have put this song in there. And crap, I have no Canadian bands. I got to put,
Oh, don't worry. We got Rob here.
you've already offended Rob. Yeah.
You know
the
what's
Canadian
funny?
Bands covered.
Here's
I
the
don't
funny
think
thing.
I have any Canadian bands on my list.
I don't either on my list.
No way.
No way.
Well, I got
Seriously.
two.
No Crash
Three.
Test Dummies?
I got three.
No
I
Bare
love
Naked
the
Ladies.
Crash Test Dummies, but they're not on my list.
Crash Test Dummies are doing a concert just 15 minutes from my house. Tickets went on sale yesterday
Really?
in Belleville. Yeah.
You should go.
Sweet.
Chris just saw the Mavericks, which I'm envious of.
And the Mavericks are just coming the same venue.
Yeah, the Mavericks were killer. I still can't believe Raul Malo can still sing as well as he did like back in the early 90s.
Yeah, wow. I should
Let's
go
hear
to
it.
that show.
Is he early 60s now? Probably.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
They're just a great band. I sent a picture to my mom, showed her that I was at the concert. And she's like, well, and then I sent her, as one of their songs. And she's like, well, have they done anything recently? I said, yeah, they've come out with albums. I said, the thing is that they're one of those bands that radio doesn't like, because they can't pigeonhole them into a style, because, they'll do a country record, but then they'll do an album in all Spanish. And then they'll, do some classics, and so they're kind of all over the place.
It's kind of the same with like Los Lobos. That's why probably one of the reasons they never made it massive.
Yeah, but see, I love the accordion, and they have the accordion in the show, and I love the horn section that they have. They're just a great band.
Yeah.
I got an interesting question here from a Cardboard Head guy. I got a question. Is there ever any drama in the vinyl community, or is it all peace and love? I actually I have a fight going with Aaron Mutha Alomar. I told him he I don't like Clutch.
Yeah. I'm fighting with JC from the Flip Side right now.
Yeah. I'm not speaking to Rob, because he says he's a Beatles fan. I don't believe it. So we're not speaking.
Yeah. No, you know what? With the vinyl community, I think it's for the most part, I think it's rainbows and unicorns.
I do too. I think everybody respects each other, and we all share the same passion, whether we,
Yeah, and I don't think it's
different
people from
musical
the vinyl.
tastes. Doesn't really matter.
Right. And I don't think it's people from the vinyl community. I think it's people who comment on our videos. And I just love when we share our opinion about something, and then somebody goes, "You're wrong."
Yeah.
What?
You call yourself a listener?
Yeah. So I don't know. You know what? That's the thing. I mean, when you put yourself out there, you got to be open to criticism, I guess, as well, too.
Yes.
So
Have you spun the Nesmith record yet?
it's awesome, man. Yeah, I spun it 2 times last night. And it's funny because before I did my video, I had to do a little research. I know it always seems like I know everything.
Oh, yeah,
but,
you just blew my mind.
but I had to look up that FFV because I didn't know what the hell that meant.
Yeah.
And that was the name of a train.
Yeah.
And I never knew that. And it was about a train wreck. And so I listened to it again, and it meant more this time, knowing now that I know what it's about. But, the version of Uncle Pen is killer.
Yeah.
And, I said this in the video, too, that Nesmith, he basically created his own style of music. He mixed, country and psychedelic elements and, some jazzy chord progressions here and there. And, I mentioned the bass player as well. I can't remember his name right now, but his bass lines are incredible.
Stay right there. You probably didn't see it yet. But
then you got OJ Red Rhodes on the pedal steel.
Yes. Guy's incredible.
So, I don't know. Rob, do you like country music?
No. I like my sort of rootsy, sort of roots rock, or I kind of like my stuff flavored with a little country, but I'm not a straight up country fan. No.
Yeah.
I just did my CD finds for March, and Glenn and Chris, you need this album. It's a guy named Andrew Gabbard.
Okay.
And it's an album called Cedar City Sweetheart.
Ooh, say that 7 times fast.
Yeah, right.
How do you spell his last name?
Gabbard.
Okay.
Can you message me that?
Yeah. But
because
it's
I'm
all
too lazy to
original
write
stuff.
it down right now.
He's full on 2023 cosmic country. But he's a mix of Nesmith and the Beach Boys.
Awesome.
And he's got like this weird it's a very atmospheric record, so it's got like that cosmic kind of, it's a lot of air in it,
right?
And I mean, he plays most of the instruments on it too, but it's just, I saw it as an advertisement on Facebook, and for anybody that likes Graham Parsons or the 70s Beach Boys cosmic country,
right?
It's called Cedar City Sweetheart, and it is just absolutely
Very cool.
Cool. Yeah, definitely.
I mean, you might like it too, Rob. I mean, it's pretty
okay.
It's country, but it's got that psychedelic sound to it.
I'm interested.
I'll just send you the picture of the album, Chris, so you know what it is.
Okay, cool.
It's like $12, for the CD.
Wow, where'd you find out about that guy?
It was on Facebook. Like, it was just like an ad for this particular record company. It's called Karma Chief Records, and they have a vinyl. I think there's like a blue vinyl. But I heard like the 30-second clip, and it was right up my alley. And I said, I'm going to buy that, kind of sight unseen.
Yeah.
And I really like it. It's already a contender for my favorite of the year.
Wow, very cool.
How did you refer to the music? Cosmic country?
Cosmic country, yeah, kind of like Nesmith with Red Rose, like the Cosmic Partners album that he did. And I think Graham Parsons kind of coined that too, didn't he, Glenn?
Yeah, I think so.
Well,
that's kind of how we describe the Sadies up here. They're kind of cosmic country.
Yeah, I know they called him like the Cosmic Cowboy, Graham Parsons. So anyway,
that was my nickname in high school.
I thought so.
Yeah, Cosmic Cowboy.
Bob F got a big thumbs up for you.
Thanks, Bob.
I really liked that video too. That was really good. It was different, and
I thought I wasn't a Beatles fan, Glenn.
Well, you're not. It was different.
Well, I'm just teasing.
I know you're just teasing. I just thought it would be fun to do those because those Beatles albums are,
they don't get
no one talks about them. Everyone just ranks the studio albums.
Exactly.
And I think there's a lot of value in the anthologies and the BBC and all that kind of stuff. So
it was refreshing.
Thank you.
Like a Junior Mint.
Yeah.
I love Junior Mints. I also love Mentos, the fresh maker.
That's what they called you in high school as well.
That's my nickname, yeah.
Wasn't that the one didn't Kramer drop a Junior Mint in the guy's stomach at the operation?
Yeah.
Yep.
That was it.
What's that, Chris?
Back to the Beatles with the whole Get Back thing. Let It Be has become one of my favorite records by them. And it's funny because growing up, I didn't really even know that record. Of course, I knew Get Back and everything, and Let It Be, but I didn't know that album at all. And over the last, over the last few years, even before that documentary, I was really getting into that album. And then the documentary solidified it for me. That is a killer album.
But when I did I ranked all the Beatles songs like Jeff did, and I didn't even realize when I was recording that last video that there were four tracks from Let It Be in my top 10.
Yeah, I
And
love
that's
that
my
song.
favorite Beatles
Two of
album.
Us.
Yeah. Oh yeah, love it.
So good.
Love it.
And yeah, but well, this isn't a Beatles video, is it?
It isn't. Good
Okay.
segue. We are
Thank you.
doing ranking our top 10 songs of the 90s. So it's hard just to pick 10 songs for a whole decade. So
Yeah.
maybe because Chris is our special guest tonight, we'll let him go first with his number 10.
Yeah, so I have a few albums to show. I don't have everything to show you guys, like a physical representation of it, but most of us will probably know what these albums look like or whatever. So all right, so my number 10, I have to represent this duo because I personally love their music. They don't get a lot of love. When you say you like them, people kind of look at you strangely, but they're so talented. And I'm talking about the Indigo Girls. And
Oh,
this is
interesting.
their
It's a good choice.
yeah, this is their 1997 album, Shaming of the Sun. I listen to this all the time in college. I've seen the Indigo Girls live probably 3 or 4 times. Phenomenal duo, great harmonies, great guitar interplay, great songwriting. And I'm going to pull the song off of here called Shame on You. And it got some radio airplay. I think it could have been bigger than it was. But, you know, I still listen to the tune, you know, today. So the song is Shame on You. That's my number 10.
That's a cool pick. I never even thought of the Indigo Girls.
Yeah, just, you know, they're one of those duos that people forget about, or when you say their name, people just think of their hit Closer to Fine, which is a great song. But they have so many records. I think they actually just came out with a documentary at a film festival that hopefully will be released to the public. But this is a great album because it's got more of a rocking side to it. It's got an alternative vibe to it. They kind of branched out from the folk thing. So you know, cool album, cool tune.
Awesome. Great pick.
Good pick.
Yeah.
Okay, Rob, I'm going to let you go next.
All right. So, like I said, this was hard because I was a teenager in the 90s. What do teenagers do? They listen to music. So,
Oh, I thought you were going to say something rude.
well, we do that.
See,
too.
what a teenager.
Well, you were a good kid then, Rob.
Well,
you were a good kid.
I
Well
was.
behaved.
I still am. So, this was from an album that I think is one of those albums that defined the 90s. And I could have picked anything off of here, but I'm going to pick the hit from Melancholy and Infinite Sadness.
Oh, my wife
Fill It with Butterfly Wings.
got a smile on her face.
I love that freaking album. That album might show up in my countdown.
It's just, I mean, when I think 90s, there's 2 or 3 albums that instantly pop in my head, and that's one of them. It's one of those that, you know, there was a couple years there where I listened to it incessantly and everybody owned it, and it just, there's a lot of memories attached to it. So there you go.
Now, have you heard it referred to as the White Album of the 90s?
I haven't, but
It makes sense.
I think that's probably a pretty fair comparison.
Yeah, I don't know where I heard that. I did not coin that term. I wish I did, but it makes sense because the album's all over the place stylistically.
Right.
Interesting. I've never listened to it.
Which is
Yeah,
not surprising because you also don't like the White Album, Sam.
It's true.
Yeah, but Sam, you might like Melancholy. It's a great album.
I need to listen to it.
Yeah, it's good.
Sam, you're up. Number 10.
Number 10. It's a group that they also made my list last decade. And again, like I said, I had to leave off some big names from my list. I mean, just for example, I left off, you know, Hootie and the Blowfish, Green Day, who I love, you know, both of.
Green Day.
But I have to go number 10 from 1991, from Out of Time, Losing My Religion by REM.
Yep.
Nice.
Absolutely love it. The fantastic mandolin. I first got a mandolin. A friend of mine just gave me a cheap mandolin that he had. and it's the only one that I have that I play. And it was one of the first songs that I tried to learn. It was that and Maggie May by Rod Stewart were the two songs that I tried to, get a couple chords down. And I mean, what a greght song. Michael Stipe with kind of like that, he starts off, going, ooh, life. It's just, it's so good. And then like that whole close with the mandolin playing the one note high up on the neck. I absolutely love it. For me, that sounds like the 90s, like that jangle acoustic sound that, again, like groups like Hootie and the Blowfish, the Gin Blossoms, groups like that would be, all about. So Losing My Religion, number 10.
Crap, I forgot
I
about
should have
the
dug
Blossoms.
deeper because I was trying to think of an REM song, and the album that I saw from the 90s was Automatic for the People, and there's really not a lot of songs off that I really love.
Oh, the night Swimming.
Yeah, that's
hands down.
But Losing My Religion's a great pick.
Nice.
That might have made my list if I would have.
That video was.
You just made me realize, Sam,
Top of
that
my
I
game.
forgot Green Day on my list.
Yeah.
I had Basket Case as honorable mention.
Of course.
Yeah.
Okay,
There's
my
still-
number
there's
10.
Still
So
time to change, Rob.
I had to approach
Maybe.
this from a whole different angle because I'm not much of a 90s guy. So me, it was all albums that I liked that came out in the 90s and picking songs off them. There is a couple of kind of more popular songs, but for the most part, I'm going with outstanding albums and then kind of my favorite songs off them. So I'm going with Lucinda Williams' Car Wheels on a Gravel Road,
Nice.
which is one of my favorite albums of any decade. And it came out in 1998. And I'm picking the song off of here that I like the most. Is the only song on here she didn't write. It's called Can't Let Go. It was written by a guy named Randy Weeks. I don't know if anybody knows the name. I don't know who he is. But anyway, it's kind of a country blues type song, real catchy tune. And that's my number 10.
Awesome.
Nice.
I don't think I've heard that album before.
Oh, haven't you?
No.
Oh, man, you'd love it.
I don't
Great
need
record.
any more albums to buy, Glenn.
There you go.
Sam
You got
just
to
gave me
listen to
one.
that. Oh, that would be right up your alley, Chris.
Oh, great. Another CD I need.
Well,
I need
you need
another
all the
CD like I
pairing.
need a whole net.
I got to catch up on some comments here. Prime Analog Records. Graham Parsons is from my hometown, Winter Haven, Florida. John picks Nothing Compares to You. The Prince song. Sinead O'Connor, number 10.
Huge hit.
Number 10 for Randy Nelson. Let the Mystery Be. Iris Dement.
In Spite of Ourselves was on my short list.
Wow.
They Might Be Giants. Flood.
Shame on you. Steve Earle sings backup and plays harmonica. Did you know that?
I did not know that. I wish I could say I did know that, but
Wow. REM, good choice. Worst band ever.
Oh.
Worse than Bon Jovi, REM.
Oh,
wow.
What?
Wow. I hate it. You know what I hate about Bob? He's so wishy-washy. Get off the fence. Tell us what you think, Bob.
yeah. Don't beat around the bush, Bob.
Yeah. Okay, Chris is up with number 9.
All right. I'm going with the Cranberries, but I'm not picking the song Linger, which is a killer tune. I'm going for the next album when they got a little heavier with Zombie.
Mm.
And
That was my number 10, and I bumped it.
Yeah, I love that song, and I have to
Yep.
look up how to pronounce her name. Dolores, I think it's O'Riordan.
O'Riordan.
Yep.
Yeah.
O'Riordan, whatever the hell her last name was. But I mean, nobody sounded like the Cranberries, and that song "Zombie" it just fit right in. Like if you were a Nirvana fan or Pearl Jam or Stone Temple Pilots or any of those bands, that song could fit us right along with those other bands. So they kind of adapted their sound to kind of fit that 90s thing that was going on, but they didn't lose who the Cranberries were.
No.
And I still I've got 2 of my own kids. My daughter's 18, my son is 16. They love that freaking song. When it comes on, it's just you're just singing along. And yeah, so number 9, Zombie.
Cool.
Love it.
All
right,
zombie, hey, hey, hey. I can't sing like she does.
Everybody knows.
So my number 9 is from 1994. I like the album. I like the band, but it's also one of those that has some sort of strong memories attached to it from Blur's Park Life.
Blur.
Yeah. The song Girls and Boys is the lead off track, and it's I mean, there's a lot of great songs in this record. The Brit pop war, I'm solidly team Oasis, but there's a couple Blur albums I like, and I like this one. But there was a girl at the time back in the day that had this and introduced me to this record, and for all those memories that I'm not going to talk about on this live stream,
They're a Blur, yeah.
You know, that's it's a damn good album, but that's a song I went with, Girls and Boys by Blur.
Did you listen to it in her room, Rob?
Well, that may have happened, and many other places.
All right.
Are those albums hard to find, or they're
No, you can get them.
the Blur albums? Yeah.
I think I grabbed that one off eBay or Discogs or something.
Yeah.
And I think Blur is popular enough they have reissues too, I think.
Yeah, these are reissues.
Oh, okay.
Because Damon Albarn, I mean, the Gorillaz are still fairly popular.
Yeah.
So.
And I think on Netflix they just had a movie about the whole Brit war thing between
Oasis
and Blur. Yeah, I don't know if it's still on in like a documentary.
That'd be good.
I know, and like I said, I was right in the middle of that. I was that target demographic back then, and I like Blur and I love Oasis, but I never understood the rivalry. I never understood why it was Brit pop. I can see Blur being pop. Oasis is not a pop band; they're a rock band. I don't understand the comparison.
Nothing compares to them. No.
You know what? It sells records.
True.
It does. Yeah, it's good. It's good MTV.
Yep.
Yeah. People love a good controversy.
That's why I brought you on, Chris.
Yeah, well, I'm
Troublemaker.
By the end of the night, I'll start a fight with one of you.
Yeah.
Okay. Sure.
It'll probably be with the guy with the Zappa hat.
Hey,
he's the host.
don't get me
Okay,
going.
Sorry.
Sam, number 9.
Number 9. This might be
Number
so.
9.
To back it up, I was born in 1994.
Oh.
Yeah. So I remember the 90s like as a child. So a lot of my music associated with the 90s, new music, was movie songs, soundtracks, Disney movies that I was listening to, and some of those songs still stick with me. So for that reason, and not only that, but this is just one of the most killer soundtracks ever, and Chris might agree with me.
Prince of Egypt?
What's that?
Prince of Egypt?
No, but that's a good one.
Okay.
That's a really good one. Any soundtrack with Steve Martin and Martin Short is okay by me. No, this is from 1999 from the Tarzan movie, the Disney Tarzan movie. Phil Collins, the song "Son of Man," which is an absolute. It could have been on the Invisible Touch album. I mean, it's nothing about it is kid or anything. It's a Phil Collins track. It's just a killer track. It sounds like later Genesis. It's just it always gets me. It's in a good, it's just a high energy pop song. Again, nothing thematic about it. Involves Tarzan. It's just a good Phil Collins song that happens to be in the Tarzan movie. And that whole soundtrack is full of fantastic Phil Collins music. And Son of Man from Tarzan, number 9.
Wow.
You're pulling some cool ones out of the hat here.
It's not the
I'm
only
writing
one.
everything down here so I can listen to some of these songs because I'm not a big 90s guy. So
That's a good song. That's a really good Phil Collins song.
I think the only song I know that you guys have mentioned so far is Losing My Religion. So I'm making notes.
I was just going to say, Sam, it's not cool to say you like the album Invisible Touch. Come on now.
I love the. I should say I love the track Invisible. I love the track Invisible Touch.
I actually like that album.
I do too. I'm kidding. You guys say you like.
Chris is the king of liking
Landmark
albums.
down on Broadway.
I'm a Phil Collins Genesis guy over a Peter Gabriel Genesis guy, actually.
If we're worried about albums that are cool to like, then I'm going to be in trouble in a little bit.
Yeah.
We got a long stream.
Rob would have been kicked off
this.
this.
My first album, an Indigo Girls record. So,
Well, I have a girls album coming up that doesn't start with Indigo.
Ooh, so. What could it be?
I am going to show you how friggin' cool I am with this pick. You're going to say, this guy is the hippest dude.
Well, you're
his age that I've ever met.
I think we're going to say this dude needs a hip replacement. But
no, well, that could be true. Beck, Odelay.
Nice. Oh,
really?
Good pick.
Where it's at.
Two turntables and a microphone.
That is one of the catchiest frigging songs ever made.
Yeah.
I love it.
He had some great hooks in the 90s.
That is my song. I love Beck. I think he's great. In his
Great
albums, like even the more folky stuff he did later, and that he's a really talented guy.
Very cool pick. Forgot about Beck.
Okay, I got to catch up with people here. Damn, I wish I was your lover, Sophie B. Hawkins.
I'm glad you're not our lover, John.
Yeah, damn, we're glad you're not. Mrs. Potter's Lullaby, Counting Crows. I love Counting Crows.
Randy.
I love Counting Crows.
If
Is
you
that
don't
off
know-
the first? Is that off the August and Everything album?
No, I don't think so.
so.
But Randy, check out the version by Wesley Schultz, who's the lead singer of the Lumineers, on his album Vignettes. It's a fantastic version. Fantastic.
Who else? I agree with Glenn. Lucinda Williams' Car Wheels is a fantastic album. It is. Spin Doctors, Runaway Train.
Fantastic.
Except that wasn't the Spin Doctors. That was Soul
Soul
Asylum.
Asylum.
Oh, that's yeah. Look at that.
They were like two princes. And
Spin Doctors was Little Miss
Princes.
Can't Be Wrong.
Little Miss Can't Be Wrong.
So 1990.
Pocket Full of Kryptonite.
What year would that? That was 1992, maybe.
Runaway Trains.
92.
93.
93. So my wife Lynn and I drove from Toronto to South Carolina, to the border in North Carolina, South Carolina, to an amusement park called Carowinds. You know the
Yep.
place, Sam?
Yep, it's it's Charlotte, North Carolina.
Yeah. So we went there because they had a music festival at the site there, and it was called the Horde Festival. They used to tour all over the country, and it was we went to see Bela Fleck and the Flecktones, and Spin Doctors were there. Blues Traveler was there. It was a pretty cool festival.
Oh, forgot about Blues Traveler too.
Runaway Soul Asylum. John's setting Bob straight. Bob probably thinks that it's a REM song.
Well, there's a song "Runaway Trains" by Tom Petty from the late '80s.
Only 2 Genesis albums in the 90s. We Can't Dance and Calling All Stations. Thunderstruck.
I didn't think about AC/DC.
Yeah. I forgot about that.
I did not either. Well, I'm not a big fan. So, what's John doing there? I don't see the.
Oh, because he loves
Blowing
us.
kisses.
What emoji is that?
It's like blowing kisses.
He's blowing
Oh, is
kisses.
it? Okay, I can't see it.
It's because he
I
wishes
haven't
he was our lover. Yeah.
I haven't got my glasses on.
So Sam,
Oh,
we should have picked something off of Monkey's Just Us.
Yeah.
I could have picked the remake of Circle Sky, but I held back.
It was on the Crows This Desert Life album. Okay. Yeah, I don't have that album. All right, cool. We're up to number 8.
Okay, well, this is going to be a total surprise, and I know I look like a rapper.
Especially in that shirt.
That was my
Yeah.
first thought.
But you guys know I listen to frickin' everything, and I have to mention this hip hop rap artist because it was my first rap album I ever bought, and I know every word of it.
Vanilla
Came out in
Ice.
1992 by Ice Cube,
Oh.
and the song is called "It Was a Good Day."
Oh yeah, good song.
And I just love the line, I didn't even have to use my AK. Today was a good day. And the video
Oh,
was
man.
great. And, again, am I like the biggest hip hop rap fan? No, I'm not. But for whatever reason, I love that album. And there are a lot of cool bands that came out in the 90s in the hip hop genre, like Cypress Hill and House of Pain and, I can't think of any others, but Ice Cube, that song, every time I hear it, the radio goes up, the windows go down in my Honda CRV.
It's hot.
And I don't know, I love it. So
You got the bass going like that. Boom, boom, boom.
I don't know how much bass is in my car. I should get hydraulics in my car so it bumps
Oh,
up
yeah,
and down.
good.
But, yeah, so
No.
Ice Cube.
I had Sabotage by the Beastie Boys on my short list
Oh, yeah, that's
from
great.
Ill
too.
Communication.
Yeah.
But number 8 for me, this is it's one of those songs that by this artist.
Isn't it Rob's turn?
It is. But Sam,
I'm
can go if he
explaining
wants.
Rob's pick before he Yeah. So this pick that Rob has is just head over heels, one of the best that ever was. Take it away, Rob. I
You
hope
want to
it's
go,
like,
Sam? You can.
what's that? No, please. I
That'll
want to
screw up
give
my
you-
list.
All right.
If you do that.
This may have been mentioned in the peanut gallery, but Runaway Train by Soul Asylum
Oh,
off the
I
album
wondered why you had that
Grave
year.
Dancers Union. Love it.
Wow.
Love
Rob's
it.
showing us all up, pulling the Soul Asylum vinyl out. I love it.
I actually just got, I love that album, but I just got it on vinyl last week. It was my monthly Vinyl Me Please record.
That's awesome.
And they
Very
did a
cool.
hell of a job because that's the Vinyl Me Please edition, obviously.
Yeah.
And it has an entire second disc of live stuff, which is great.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
wow. Excellent pick.
Now you can go, Sam. Sam will
Well-
tell you about his pick now, everybody.
Well, my pick is just mundane compared to that. No, it's another early '90s song from 1990. And going through the list, I was trying to. Originally, when I started doing the list, I was like, well, I'm not going to stick to some of the older guys that surpassed decades, but I couldn't let some of them slide. And so, from 1990, from the album "The Rhythm of the Saints" by Paul Simon,
Ooh,
"The
Wow.
Obvious Child," the lead-off single to that album.
that's a friggin' awesome song.
It was his follow-up to the Graceland album. This was his more South American, Caribbean album. And I was actually, while I was watching Jeopardy before our video, I had Paul Simon playing during the commercials, playing that song just to remind myself how good it was. And what makes that song is the drum break,
Yeah.
kind of in the middle, the
Yeah.
dun, 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 bam, bam, and then
Yeah.
it's just fantastic. And if you want a really good cover version of it, there's a great version out there by Lucas Nelson and Promise of the Real that they did, which is fantastic. They play it note for note, perfect, and it's just a fantastic, get on your feet kind of Paul Simon song.
And you know what's cool about it too is the title, "The Obvious Child." Why deny the obvious? And then you pause. Child. Why deny the obvious child?
Why deny the
Or why
obvious?
deny the obvious
I know.
child? What's an obvious child? Like you could take it two different ways too, like the way he sings it.
He's brilliant. He's brilliant.
Yeah, that's a great song. Wow,
Good
that
pick.
would have made my top 10 if I would have thought of that one.
Good pick.
Man.
We can share, Glenn.
Okay. I'm gonna go the obvious child with. Well, I'm gonna take Tom Waits.
Yes, you will.
And my favorite Tom Waits album came out in 1999,
I forgot about that album.
and it's Mule Variations.
Nice.
And there's like so many songs on that album that I could pick, but I went with Get Behind the Mule.
Ooh.
Sounds dirty.
It's kind of a weird, kind of a blues tune. I don't know how to describe it, but you got to get behind the mule.
Sorry.
And I'll tell you, Government Mule actually covers that song, Glenn. Did you know
Oh,
that?
do they?
Yeah, and live in concert. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's cool. So Tom Waits had to make my list.
I definitely would have picked "Come On Up to the House" from that album. That would have been my
Yeah, that's a great song.
or "Picture in a Frame."
Yeah, Picture in a Frame, Hold On. There's a whole bunch of them. Big and
Hold On.
that whole album's great.
What's he building in there for the creeps?
Yeah. So Tom Waits. So let me get caught
JC
up.
would be proud of you.
Yeah, JC loves Tom Waits.
The Empire Records movie soundtrack album has some of the best bands of the 90s. My favorite, Crazy Life, Toad the Wet Sprocket.
My wife's got that on vinyl, and it's worth a fortune.
Nice.
Really? Wow. I'm not a huge Radiohead guy just because I just don't listen to them. It's not like I have anything against them, but Creep is a song I'm very familiar with. I really like that song.
He might just be trying to insult you without insulting you.
Night Swimming, there we go.
Yep.
Yeah, great song.
Sam mentioned that. Linger, the Cranberries.
Yeah.
Is that on the same album that you were...
No, it's on the one before that.
Before.
Video for Runaway Train is very emotionally relevant.
is.
I don't know if I've seen it.
It starts off with a message about how there's, I don't know what the number was, all these missing youth that are out on the streets and no one knows where they are. It's kind of what it's about.
Oh,
Forgot about
gosh,
that.
later.
I got to say, like, I'm really sensitive to band names. Like, if it's a band name that I think is really stupid, I can't listen to their music. And Toad the Wet Sprocket would be on my list of bands. I would just go, I have no interest. But just because
I'm the opposite. If it's a stupid name like that, I'd be more inclined to check it out.
No, they would go with I call it the Oingo Boingo rule, and that they would fall in.
What a surprise. You and I disagree on something.
Guns N' Roses,
Oh,
November
man.
Rain.
Nice.
How did I forget GNR? Shit.
In the
Check this
cold
out.
November.
Oh, we don't want John's getting dirty.
Block.
Do you get any
Oh,
on
boy.
you, John?
Wow.
Okay.
Oh gosh.
What are we at? Number 7.
Yep.
All right. I'm gonna get a little heavy here, guys. You know,
Please.
from 1992, Rage Against the Machine.
Whoa.
Ooh.
Yeah, Glenn, watch out. Song called "Killing in the Name of." It's so heavy. I also love how Rage kind of mixed hip hop and metal together. They weren't the first. You know, Anthrax did it with Public Enemy. You know, Aerosmith did it with Run DMC. But I think Rage Against the Machine sort of perfected it. I love the groove they have behind the song. Tom Morello on guitar, he was doing some weird stuff on guitar that nobody was doing. And then there's that part in the middle where they start chanting "F you, I won't do what you tell me," and it just builds and builds and builds. And my college buddies and I used to sing that, or not sing it, but chant it. It's a heavy song, but it gets you going. So
Wow.
Rage Against the Machine.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Tommy Morello.
What?
Said he's great. Tommy Morello is so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been one of those like modern legends. Like in 30
Yeah.
years, he'll be named with those other Hendrix and those
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, Rob. Now,
Right.
ladies and gentlemen, Rob's turn.
Yeah.
So my number 7 is one of Glenn's favorite bands of all time. And when I think of the 90s, I watched a lot of Much Music, which for Chris and Sam is MTV. So to me, I always associate 90s with music videos. And for me, there's one music video that stands above them all, starring Alicia Silverstone, Crying from Aerosmith's
Yeah.
Get a Grip. I mean, there's 3 or 4 songs off here I got to pick because I know the VC gives very little love to later Aerosmith. Everyone's all snobby and goes, it's got to be 70s Aerosmith or it's garbage. I understand that, but I'm a child of the late 80s and early 90s, so this was the Aerosmith I grew up on. I love Toys in the Attic and all the early stuff, but this was my Aerosmith. So this was the huge album for me. And I mean, there's so many songs, but I got to pick Crying.
I mean, you're totally right. Like, I mean, I'm going to sound like a snob, but I do prefer 70s Aerosmith. But
And I get why. Totally.
But you can't deny the hits on that album. You can't deny the hits on Pump. And
Permanent Vacation.
Permanent Vacation is one of my favorite albums.
Yeah. It's almost like Aerosmith. Right. Aerosmith had 2 careers, right? They had the 70s career, and then they kind of fizzled out. And then they did the Run DMC thing you talked about. And it's like they had a second career after that.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, they became REO Speedwagon.
Oh, Jesus.
It's okay, Rob, to stand up for what you like.
Fight to power.
Stand.
I mean, I listen to Rod McEwen, for gosh sakes. So,
number 7, W. Green just mentioned it in the comments, and I'm going to go with "Linger" by the Cranberries from 1993.
Oh,
again, for a lot of the same reasons Chris talked about with Zombie. I mean, her voice is just unmatched. You know it's her voice as soon as you hear it.
Yep.
I also consider "Dreams," which is the other big hit that they had, which I listened to probably more than the other 2 songs. But "Zombie" is just, I mean, that intro that doesn't make sense with the rest of the song, and then this, like, after that finger picking with her kind of just, you know, going ooh, it's kind of like that, and then the strum kicks in. Just a beautiful song, and it was one of those songs, you know, when she passed away, that everybody was singing like as a tribute in concert. So, you know, everybody covered that song and live in concert. It's just a beautiful song, and yeah, you can't deny it. It's the Cranberries' signature song.
That's a band I really haven't paid any attention to that I think I should listen to. The Cranberries.
Yeah, 'cause they've got that jangle sound, but also like Chris, they kind of a grungier edge too.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd like them, Glenn.
Yeah, I got to check them out. Okay, that's number 7, right? My number 7. I got to go with a Toronto band. So when Sam's absence last week, Rob and I did our countdown of our top Canadian albums, and my number 1 album was my favorite Canadian band, Lowest of the Low. And I'm taking their great album, Shakespeare My Butt, and there is a love song on there called Subversives, which is absolutely one of the most incredible love songs I've ever heard. So the lyrics are just perfect. It's just a great song. Whenever you see them live, they always do it. And not something that everybody's going to know, but it's in my top 10.
Well, it's funny you mentioned that band because I went to school near Buffalo, New York.
Oh, yeah, they're big in Buffalo.
A lot of the Canadian bands sort of trickled down into Buffalo, and all my friends listened to Lowest of the Low. That album is killer. What was the other hit off that album?
Well, it was great.
Gray, yeah. Rosie and Gray. Rosie and Gray.
Rosie and Gray, and Subversives, Leave a Little While Tonight. Yeah, there's a ton of good songs. Salesmen, Cheats, and Liars.
Glenn actually gave me that CD. I need to listen to it again. He VCLT'd it when he was down here the first time to me.
Yeah, really good stuff.
Yeah,
well, that's good. Cool. I forgot. I think you told me that once before that you were aware of those from your Buffalo days. That's cool.
Yeah, Buffalo being close to Canada, a lot of that stuff just trickles down into there, and
they're huge in Buffalo still. They go down there and sell out like crazy.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. All right, my turn.
Let me get caught up with people here.
I think Rob got pissed off at us and left.
I think so. Black, Pearl Jam. See, that's why the big part of the 90s, I was never a grunge guy, so I miss all the Pearl Jam and Nirvana and Soundgarden and all that stuff just went right over my head. Semi-Charmed Life, Third Eye Blind.
Good song.
Anything by Soundgarden. Sam Garden. It's Sam in the brain.
That's my horticulture side.
Hello, Marcia. You're late.
Hi, Marcia.
We love Marcia. Baby Baby by Amy Grant.
Wow.
That's an interesting one.
Yeah. I know the song well, but
Learn to Fly, the Foo Fighters.
Fantastic song.
I'm just not a Foo Fighters guy.
But Dave Grohl had to show up, Glenn.
Tom Waits, come on up to the house.
Yeah, Randy, I'm upset. I forgot all about Mule Variations.
I just love that line in that song was get off the cross like we can use the wood.
Oh, yeah.
Dolores
my band plays that.
O'Riordan's voice wears on my nerves after 2 or 3 songs.
Well, John,
Well, then don't listen to more than one song at a time, then, John. That would be my suggestion. Unplugged, Eric Clapton. Yeah, that's a 90s album.
I thought about a couple of those, but
Tears in Heaven, I guess, would be a 90s song then, right?
Yeah.
Free as a Bird, good tune.
Free as a Bird, the Beatles. I never even thought of that.
Yeah, Real Love is on my short list. I had it written down.
Oh, damn. That was stupid of me.
But I didn't. I feel like it was kind of cheating. Semi.
Yeah. Wow. Okay, we're going to carry on without Rob. We must have offended him.
Yeah.
It took how many months have we been doing this? I've been trying to offend him for 4. Oh, he's back.
Sorry,
I thought you got offended and left.
No, I had an issue with my son I needed to deal with.
Oh, I said I've been trying to offend you for about 6 months, and then nothing's worked. And then whatever I said tonight must have done it.
No, I just consider where it comes from and just dismiss
it. Okay, we're at number 6.
Number 6.
All right. I'm going with a Pearl Jam tune, and I like Pearl Jam better than Nirvana. I was never a huge Nirvana fan. And this is nothing against them. I understand what they did for music around that time. I grew up in the 80s, so I was into the hair metal, the Poisons, and the Warrants and all that. And, of course, once Nirvana hit, it was like, if you said you listened to Warrant, you weren't cool anymore. But I don't even know where I'm going with this conversation.
Pearl Jam.
Pearl Jam. Thank you. I like Pearl Jam better, and I'm going to pick a song off of the album Versus because I like Versus better than 10. And I'm going to go with this. Actually, wait, no, this is off of Vitalogy, I think. Yeah. Better Man. Isn't Better Man off of Vitalogy?
I think so.
Yeah. And I believe it came out in 1993. But Better Man, such a great song. Eddie Vedder had one of those voices that everybody started to copy. I love how it starts out mellow and then sort of breaks into that groove and that sort of up-tempo sound, but just a great sing-along chorus. And Pearl Jam, Better Man.
Very cool. That's one song I do know from Pearl Jam. That's a good song.
And
Yeah.
I love Eddie Vedder because he's the like that link with like guys like the Who. Because I mean he's a diehard.
And I like
fan.
Eddie Vedder when he does solo stuff too. I think more than I like with the Pearl. And like I've just never really been into Pearl Jam, but things I've heard him just do by himself was really good.
Yeah, he did the soundtrack for that movie about the guy that went out to
Into the Wild.
The guy in Death Row. Oh man, incredible stuff on there.
And he's done a couple of ukulele albums too.
That's a great soundtrack album.
I got to get that.
What Steve Earle's on that, and there's a few people on that. It's a great
I
record.
feel like Steve Earle is on every album. Is Steve?
He's the David Grohl of country.
The 90s. Yeah.
Steve Earle is actually sitting on this couch. You can't see him.
He is the couch.
He's right behind David Grohl.
He's behind Dolores.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought so.
Rob, buddy, you're up next.
All right, number 6 for me. Barely made the 90s because it was released in February of 1990. So just snuck into the start of the 90s. But this is from an album that is chock full of so many hits. It's ridiculous. But I got to go with Hard to Handle by the Black Crowes.
Oh, yeah. That's a great record.
It's a fantastic album. That song, it's just got that kind of that beat where if I'm in a bad mood, I just put that song on and my head just starts bopping. I'm like, yeah.
You picked Hard to Handle?
Hard to Handle.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many other.
That's a Otis Redding song.
Yeah.
There's so many other great songs in here. Twice as Hard, Jealous Again.
She Talks to Angels.
Yeah.
She Talks to Angels. This whole record is fantastic.
It is good. They've never
Hard to
matched
Handle.
it, actually. I don't think they've ever matched that record. That record's outstanding.
No. What was the one that was after that? There was Southern.
But that had the song, one of my favorite Black Crow songs, Remedy.
Yes.
Yeah.
I almost bought that record last week, but I didn't.
Oh, man. I think Remedy rivals some of the hits on that first album.
I agree with you 100%.
I had a chance to see the reunion show a couple of years ago when they were doing that album live before COVID, but I didn't want to drive. It was like a 2-hour drive, and I didn't know them that well to make that trip, even for a free show. But it was like a $25 ticket anyway, so it wasn't like a huge thing. But anyway,
Excellent choice.
For me, if Rich Strickler is out there in the Quiet Peanut Gallery, he will love me even more for this pick. It's from the album of the same name from 1993. Again, a new favorite for me. The song "I'm Alive" by Jackson Browne.
Oh yeah, that's a great album. I almost picked that too.
And I just absolutely love that track. And it really rose to the ranks when, again, speaking of COVID, I saw Jackson Browne open for James Taylor in 2021. It was the first show I'd seen since the lockdowns and everything. And Jackson Browne was one of the first celebrities to announce that he had COVID when that was going around. And he opened with that track. And so like the meaning, the significance of that song and the fact that I was sitting in a stadium with, 14,000 people listening to this guy that was pretty sick, like 5 or 6 months before. I mean, it was like an emotional experience. It was one of those concert moments I'll never forget is Jackson Browne opening with "I'm Alive" at that concert. So it's quickly become a favorite of mine.
Yeah, that's a really solid Jackson Browne album. Like after he put out quite a few albums that were kind of mediocre, he
in
came
the
back
80s.
with that one, and every song's great.
Yeah.
Cool. I don't know that.
Whoa! Chris Propfe sighting.
Whoa.
Is he Canadian now?
Wait, Chance. I hope you know, based on this voice, that I am not Canadian. No offense.
You're an honorary Canadian.
No offense. I'm Levon. As
Chris is close to Canadian. Poughkeepsie, New York. It's close enough.
Close enough.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a Canadian accent, but whatever.
Hey,
neither do we.
No.
Yeah.
I have a hybrid accent because I've lived in Colorado, Arizona, New York. I was born in Virginia, so I'm kind of all over the place. That was just a little tidbit for y'all.
There you go.
Take notes.
Geography lesson.
There will be a test at the end.
Yeah. My number 6. Never thought of this song until we were doing our video that we were recording before we went on, and I was talking to a couple of guys, and they went, "What about that song?" I went, "That's a freaking killer song," and I had to kick something on to put it on the list, and it actually ended up at number 6. Collective Soul.
Ooh,
Nice.
The World I Know.
yeah.
What a great ballad that is! Just an incredible song. And then as soon as I got off the thing we did, I had to put it on the stereo and go, "Oh yeah, that's got to make the list, man. That's killer." Yeah, but this is a really good album. I think that's their first album, is it not?
I'm not sure.
I don't know.
Yeah, but anyway, that's my number 6. I finally
Cool.
picked a song someone might know.
All right, so number 5, right?
Let me see if
Okay.
anybody's got anything to say here. Oh, Ghost!
I
I
love
love
that
that
album.
song. Great album.
Sinaloa Cowboys is a great tune.
Randy sneaks some Van in.
Stay
I
tuned,
must
Randy.
always explain. What album was that on, Randy?
Hymns to the Silence,
Oh yeah, that's right. Nothing
1991.
Man is the better Pearl Jam man song for me.
Oh, I don't know.
Hi, buddy.
Hi, Marcia.
Hi, Marcia. Just Breathe is a great Pearl Jam song covered by the great Willie Nelson.
His version's very good.
This is a good song. Bob F. Sucking Up to Music
John.
Talk with John. River of Dreams I like that song.
Was that 93 or 91? I think it was 91.
Damn it, Glenn. I'm getting my ass kicked here. Damn it, Glenn. Toad is great. Not all band names can be as cool as Limp Bizkit. Probably your favorite. Give them a
It was 93.
chance.
It was
You
93.
stupid bastard. Oh, he didn't say that. Okay. I'm sorry.
All right, Chris.
All right,
Okay,
number
Chris.
5. Somebody mentioned this song before, but Basket Case by Green Day.
Good man.
I love punk music. I follow, of course, Black Flag and the SST label, and there was a band called The Descendants, and I guarantee The Descendants influenced Green Day, and The Descendants should have been bigger than they were, but for whatever reason, Green Day kind of, went there. But you can't deny this song. I mean, I remember when we were at the bars in college, that was the last song they would always play, and we would all just be singing it. It's just a great song. Even when it comes on now, it came out in 1994, but it still sounds fresh today. And, Green Day, killer band. I love that song, Basket Case.
But I came out in 1994 as well, and I'm still fresh.
Yeah, you were born in 1994, and I was
Wow.
drinking in 1994.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what I was doing in 1994.
And it's funny because when you're in college, it's like, yeah, we're gonna go down to the bars and have some beers, and now I'm like, I don't drink at all anymore. It's like, I don't know. I guess as you get older, it's not as taboo as it used to be. But.
Yeah.
You poor old timers.
And I'm only 48, but
Yeah.
whatever.
It gets worse.
Yeah.
It doesn't get better.
See, everybody, the longer I'm on this episode, the more you learn about me.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
By the end, I'll be showing you all my tattoos.
Chris Propfe, this is your life.
Yeah.
Taking his mask off, it's Jeff Witcher.
And here's your
Yeah.
kindergarten teacher.
Actually, second grade.
Okay.
Rob.
Where do we leave off?
Rob.
Oh, Rob.
Number
Okay,
5,
Rob.
me. Number 5. I actually had to borrow this record from my wife's record collection because I don't have it, and my wife and I do not share record collections. So I'm still on the hunt for this one myself. But another one of those albums I listened to relentlessly from 95 off of
that's
Odette's
a great
Tragic
album.
Kingdom.
Forgot about
There's
that.
a bunch of songs in here. I'm not picking Spiderwebs. I'm not picking Just a Girl. I'm
Why
picking
not?
Sunday Morning.
Oh.
Kind of a deep cut. I think it was a single. I think there was a video for it, but I like this No Doubt album, and I like Return of Saturn, and then after that, kind of crap. Can't stand Gwen Stefani. Can't stand her solo garbage. But back then, I just thought she was great. Her voice was fantastic. It was different. Yeah, so I'm going Sunday Morning from Tragic Kingdom.
Nice.
When I was the last band I was playing in, which would have been about 5 years ago, and I was playing bass, and the guys wanted to do a No Doubt song, and I'm going, No Doubt, like that's just something wimpy for, like it's no way I'm doing a No Doubt song. And they said, you got to listen to this album. And I listened to that album. It's freaking fantastic record.
Fantastic.
That's a good rockin' record.
Yeah, it's like
absolutely love it.
Ska pop something.
Yeah, it's an excellent record.
Yeah,
good choice.
Thanks.
Nice.
We agreed on something. Look at that.
Well, you got to end the stream right now.
Buy a lottery ticket.
That's right.
That's cool that your wife collects records. I got to find a girl who collects records.
Yeah, she's not as passionate about it as I am, shall we say? But she got a small record collection, and we enjoy going crate digging every now and then. And she likes coming to record shows. So
nice. Do you guys ever fight over a record?
Never.
Okay.
Never. I've made a couple videos talking about her records. I did one that was records of hers that I think stink, and then I did another one. Records. She's got this uncanny knack for buying a record just because she loves the record. And 20 years later, 15 years later, it ends up being absolutely crazy expensive. And I used this in the video I did with Concert Buddy last week, where we talked about vinyl gambles. She bought the Almost Famous soundtrack back in 2003, year or two after it came out. She bought the limited edition one only because it was $40 on eBay, and now it's a $500 record. And she's got like a dozen of those examples that she's bought for $30 or $40, and they're worth like $300, $400, $500 on Discogs. Yeah. Not asking price, actual selling price. And I just go, holy shit, how do you do it? She's got like a crystal ball or something.
Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Crazy. Samuel.
Wow. Number 5 for me from 1994. It's one of my top 10 favorite albums of all time. Rob will agree and will likely, my guess is that he will also
Oasis
album. From What's the Story, Oasis. Morning Glory, Don't Look Back in Anger.
I'm not sure if I know that album or not.
It's a deeper cut. You might like it. I don't know. It's might not be your thing, but
might not be my speed.
It's the Noel Gallagher masterpiece. I mean, he sings the vocals on it, and it became an anthem in Manchester, especially after the big Manchester tragedy about 5 or 6 years ago. That everybody sings it at the football stadiums out there in England. Just a beautiful ballad. I love even more so the acoustic versions that he did for about 10 years when he was doing that version live. It's one of those great centerpiece moments of that album. And again, I think What's the Story, Morning Glory is a perfect 10 for me. And yeah, what else can I say? Don't Look Back in Anger from 94.
Wow. That's actually an Oasis song that I really like.
It's very Beatley. That's probably why, because they mentioned John Lennon essentially in the song.
Nice. Extreme, More Than Words. That is a ballad, isn't it?
It is something.
If you look up ballad in the dictionary, that song might be sitting beside it.
There's a great remake of it by Jack Black and Jimmy Fallon.
Oh, really?
Jack Black has the long wig on and everything.
Oh, that's funny.
Like Gary Sharon.
So my number 5, Sam's Gonna Love Me. My favorite Tom Petty album.
Mine too.
Wildflowers. And that song, title song, You Belong in the Wildflowers, probably in my top 5 Tom Petty songs of all time. And that's my favorite Tom Petty album. So that's my number 5.
I got to ask you a question, Glenn. I can see in Jerry Garcia's reflection behind you the Jays game's on. What's the score?
3-1 Toronto.
You're kidding me.
No, 6th inning.
Is Kikuchi still pitching?
I don't know. KC's up to bat. I haven't really been paying attention. I'm not sure.
Okay. Sorry, guys. I digress. It's kind of important.
It's interesting when we're showing all these albums and songs and everything. There was a lot of quality music that came out in the 90s.
There really is.
Yeah.
That's why, every album you guys are showing, I'm like, crap, I should have shown that or forgot about that artist or, there was a lot of great music.
Well, as we're doing this, I'm starting to discover that you kind of just develop these attitudes and opinions without any basis of fact. So, like, I thought the '80s sucked, and then we did an '80s one a couple of weeks ago, and I'm going, there was some great stuff in the '80s. And then now we're doing the '90s, going, the '90s wasn't for me. I wasn't into any of this crap. And now, we're picking out a ton of great albums. I'm going, the 2000s are going to be the same.
Yeah.
Well, I think the thing is, when you think '90s, you think grunge, but it went beyond that.
Mm-hmm.
So
no, I agree.
All right. Are you going to answer some questions, or am I?
Who's up next?
We've done the circuit, so Chris is back.
Okay, let me see what people are saying here. Okay, we did that already. Bee Gees alone, 97. I don't know anything Bee Gees from the 90s.
I don't either.
That's a good song.
I like Bob.
Because he said
Bob F.
He agreed with John about
River of Dreams. Yeah.
Black Hole Sun's a great song. And Enter Sandman, I'm not a Metallica guy, but Enter Sandman's a great song.
You live in Southwest Virginia, you hear Enter Sandman more than just about any song. That's Virginia Tech's hype song.
I think that I have to mention a duet. Nancy Griffith with John Prine, The Speed of Sound of Loneliness. Yeah, that's a great song.
Great track.
Jackson, Lucinda Williams, which is on the Car Wheels on a Gravel Road album. Excellent. I love Don't Look Back in Anger. I think it has been overplayed, though. My Oasis song would be Don't Go Away.
Good song.
I thought about Live Forever, too.
3-1 into 6.
Supersonic.
Thank you. Elastica Stutter. I don't know that. Is that a popular thing? Or
I don't know that one.
I'm not sure.
Doc, here we go. What's Doc? I took your advice and used Collective Soul. Okay, now we're ready.
Back to Chris.
4.
All right, number 4. I could have picked any song off this album, but I'm going with the huge hit, Mr. Jones, August and Everything After. You hear negative stuff about the Counting Crows every once in a while, and I'm like, I don't know, I just don't get it, because they continue to make great music. I mean, this album, every song is a classic tune, and what's great about this album is it has a mood to it, and the songs follow that mood throughout, and that's what great albums do. And the song Mr. Jones, what a killer tune.
I love his voice.
It is a killer tune. That's a great record.
Adam Derwitz.
Yeah. They did put out a lot of good albums, not just that one. That's the one that kind of put them on the map, but their other albums are all solid.
They were influenced by Dylan and Petty and those guys. So.
Yeah, they're good. Yeah. They're a good band. Yeah, no doubt. I like that. Rob.
Okay, so
here we go. Here it comes.
I will say, sometimes we can't help the things that we like, and I think that we all have guilty musical pleasures.
I don't.
And that's okay if it sounds good to your ear. We can like stuff where we know the music is not good.
Which Spice Girls song is it?
We still enjoy the song.
This is quite the
all
build-up.
of that said, I'm ready to face the ridicule, because I am going to show an album that I love by a by a singing group that I thoroughly enjoy. And as a horny teenage boy, you might understand the attraction. I have to go with Wannabe by the Spice Girls.
Wow.
There you go.
I might have to get off this live stream right now.
We like what we like, what can I say? And like I said, I'm not saying it's good music, because it's not, but I can't help but like that song. So,
and he's not telling us this, but underneath that red sweatshirt, there's a Spice Girls t-shirt on.
Probably.
No. They don't make them in my size, but if they did, I would wear one.
It's a great song.
It is.
And those girls are hot.
There's a few things in that video that
is that Tell Me What You Want, What You Really, Really Want? Is that song?
It is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Don't get too excited, Glenn.
I'm on the hunt for a Spice Girl.
Yeah, her name's
I think they're all married now.
Yeah.
Mrs.
I'm
Dad.
old now, so me it's just if I get Montreal steak spice on my food, I'm pretty excited.
I hear you.
Number 4, and I had a hard time picking a song from this album from 1996, but I had to go with the one that everybody would expect me to pick from the album, "Bringing Down the Horse" by the Wallflowers.
Oh, I forgot.
Damn,
that.
I forgot that album
Shit.
too.
Steady, fellas. "One Headlight" by the Wallflowers. I wanted to do the difference. I thought about 3 Marlenas, but "One Headlight" was. I mean, I had to. I mean, it's such a great song. Obviously, it's Jacob Dylan, Bobby's son. I got to see the Wallflowers early spring last year, sometime in April, and just a fantastic live show. But yeah, "One Headlight." It's just a great sing along song. He's got like this smoky kind of voice to it, and then that great background guitar sound. The drum comes in kind of late. It's just a great kind of roots rock song.
I don't think I appreciated the Wallflowers when they came out, and I like them better now than I did back in the 90s.
Yeah, that's a good album.
Yeah.
They're still making records.
They are. Yeah, their last album was pretty good.
Yes, very good.
Exit Wounds.
Yeah. Yeah. I that song probably would have been on my list, Sam, if I would have thought about it. Damn.
Should have talked to me.
Oh, okay. My number. What are we at? 4?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Toronto band, well known all over the planet, I think. When I first heard this song, and I first heard the lyrics, and it said, "Drove downtown in the rain just to check out the latest record shop."
9:30 on a Tuesday night.
Drove downtown in the rain.
That song was written for me because that was my whole life, driving to Sam the Record Man whenever I was bored downtown Toronto and checking out the late night record shop. And from their album Gordon, Brian Wilson.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I love Bare Naked Ladies.
I thought about that song.
I was worried you were going to pick The Hip.
They almost made my list.
Great track.
Loser, Back. Oh, friggin' fantastic song.
I'm a loser, baby. So John had loser, and creep. He's all my insecurities.
Yeah, no kidding. Juliana Hatfield, 3, my sister.
Hey, Christian.
What's up, Christian?
Hey, Christian.
Oh, Chris Isaac. Great.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, shit. That's a good one.
That would attract the Spice Girls.
That's the same one.
There you go.
Oh, Lenny
nice.
Kravitz.
Mm-hmm.
Big 90s guy. How about Alana Miles?
Oh,
That was number 10 for a few minutes.
She was
on my list.
huge.
I can't do that song.
Love it.
Yeah.
It's
Man. She was a little older when she put that big hit album out, and what's Brian Adams' man? Bruce Allen is a famous rock manager. He managed Brian Adams and a few other people. He called her a lot of miles, and she got really upset.
Oh gosh.
She has not fared well in the music business since that big hit.
Oh man, she did really well with that.
She had a very large cocaine problem.
Oh, did she?
Oh,
whoa. Angel of the Silence is counting. More Counting Crows. Oh, here's a great pick.
Well,
Tracy Chapman.
Oh,
That's
crap,
from
I love that
88
song.
though.
Oh,
That's-
is it? Okay, it's
yeah.
80s. Doc,
I
it's
said-
80s.
I think that was on my list last week.
Okay.
I love
You're
this.
disqualified.
Dear Henry by the
Skydiggers.
Skydiggers.
Another great
That's
Canadian
fantastic.
band.
My one of my good friends, Noel, has been the Skydiggers drummer for the last 15 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Spoon Man, Soundgarden. I don't know too much Soundgarden.
It's a great song.
I'm the Only One, Melissa Etheridge.
Good one.
Yeah, she was a big 90s star too, wasn't she?
Mm-hmm.
I'm the Only One, Melissa Etheridge. Wallflower. Oh, Doc's just going through his whole list here. He's
Yeah, he came out late.
Smashing Pumpkins.
Great song.
1979.
Great song.
That's my wife's favorite. Ringo Starr, Weight of the World. I can't.
That's
Way to
from,
go,
Time Takes
Head
Time.
guy. Got to get the Beatles in here. Given to Fly, Pearl Jam, Winds of Change, the Scorpions,
Nice.
Rebel Girl, Bikini Kill. I don't know that.
Oh, yeah.
Sounds interesting though.
Chris.
Okay.
All right.
Number
Top
3.
three.
All right. Number 3, going with REM, Rapid Eye Movement. And this is a contender for their best album, Automatic for the People.
Mm-hmm.
I think I like Green a little bit better, but Automatic for the People is such a great album. I love the song Night Swimming, but I got to go with Man on the Moon.
Oh,
Good song.
And I just watched a documentary on the Andy Kaufman movie that Jim Carrey did.
yep.
And he became Andy Kaufman in this movie.
He absolutely
And
did.
REM was in the movie, and then I listened to the song again, and it just made so much more sense to me. And I don't know, it's just a great song. I play it on guitar, and it's a fun song to sing. It's got a great chorus. It's a really well written song. And 1992, Man on the Moon, number 3 for me.
Great pick.
Very cool.
Very good pick.
REM, great band.
Rapid Eye Movement.
So my number 3, I've just changed because of Sam. So I did have from 98, Iris by the Goo Goo
That was on my
Dolls,
short list, Rob.
but we're throwing out Iris. And we're going to go with
Whoa.
One Headlight.
Ah,
Wow. Look at that.
Because it's
Sam
absolutely
influenced it.
incredible. Absolutely incredible. Good luck trying to find this on vinyl, folks.
I have 3 copies of it.
You're lucky. It's
No, I'm
stupid
kidding.
expensive.
I knew it. When the hand moved to the mouth, I was like, he's lying.
Yeah.
I mean,
I've
there's a
not
whole
seen it
bunch
either.
of other stuff on here I like. 3 Marlenas, God Don't Make Lonely Girls, you know.
I like the set this the second song with the slide guitar in it.
Sixth Avenue Heartache.
Yeah,
Avenue Heartache.
that's my favorite song.
I
Yeah,
get-
I love
I
that
gave
too.
you a copy of that, didn't I, Glenn? Last time you were here. I think I gave you the CD.
Yeah, I think you did because you
Yeah.
had an extra one or something. Yeah, because I mean I had the CD when it came out, but I just did for some reason I didn't have it anymore. But yeah, it's always been a favorite.
I mean,
album.
everything on that album is fantastic, but just with One Headlight, that
Yeah.
snare
Oh, it's a
drum
great
and that
song.
kick, that's just
Yeah.
yeah.
It would have made my list too if Sam had mentioned it at number 10. I probably would have been crossing something on and putting it on.
Little known fact, Steve Earle designed the artwork for that.
I did not know that.
He did.
Yep.
Oh,
Are you being a
seriously?
smart ass? Or for real? Being
No.
a smart
No.
ass.
April Fools.
That's
Speaking
awesome.
of April Fools, I got sucked in really bad. I'm embarrassed. Did anybody watch Joe Mayo doing his things from the Beatle Fest?
Yeah.
No.
So he did this thing on April Fool's morning, and I didn't catch on it was April Fool's. And he was talking about he was so lucky he went to the merchandise table and he found this rare Ringo Starr artifact
Sculpture. Yeah.
that sold for like $2,000, and he bought it for $1,300. And he was showing everybody. He was so proud of it. It was a silver hand with a peace sign, which is typical of Ringo with the peace signs, right? And I'm going, Joe, congratulations. That's great. You only live once. If you don't want to spend $1,300 on a Beatles collectible, hey, we all want to come around once. And then a couple hours later, he goes, April Fools. And I went, oh, what an idiot I am. Frick. It was probably a 2-cent item from, anyway.
Me, right?
Okay, so who's up?
No,
Sam.
it's me.
Sam,
To
the influencer.
the influencer, and I'm gonna kind of not the same song as Randy, but from the Hymns to the Silence album by Van Morrison. I'm gonna go with "I'm Not Feeling It Anymore"
Oh, great song.
from 1991. Just a great song. It's a 6-minute track. It's all you want in a Van Morrison song. It was kind of even an earlier take on, he's sick of fame at that point. But it's got this great horn section where he says, I'm not feeling
Horn
it
section?
anymore. Yeah. Van Morrison horn section.
Oh wow, that's exciting.
But it's just a fantastic that it's almost like a Muscle Shoals kind of sound in the back. I think he even did a duet later on with
Steve Earle.
with Tom Jones.
No, Tom Jones did his own version of it. Had a hit with it.
But Van Morrison sings. He's at least in the music video.
Oh yeah, I don't know about that. Yeah, Tom Jones actually. I heard
Yeah,
Tom Jones' version before I heard Van Morrison's version.
Yeah, and I know they played it live a couple times together too, which is really
cool.
There's,
Yeah,
there's
Tom
some
Jones version is great.
There's some bootleg
It's a great
videos. So yeah,
song.
Hymns to the Silence, that whole album is one of my favorites. So
Yeah,
that's number
very
3.
cool. Great pick. So my number 2, Rob will love me. Rob doesn't love me that often, but he's going to love me on this one.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no, this is number 3. Rob's going to love me at number 2.
Oh.
My number 3, I love this album when it came out. I still think it's a great freaking record. Mark Cohen's debut album.
Oh, I know what song you're picking.
Walking in Memphis.
Beautiful song.
Yeah.
Great
I'm on the
song.
hunt for that on vinyl.
Yeah, that would be cool to find on vinyl. This is a great record. And I just love that song.
My sister just went on tour with Sarah Jarosz and Sean Colvin.
Did he?
Yeah, it was originally supposed to be with David Crosby, but Crosby obviously passed away, and so Mark Cohen kind of took his place.
Cool.
They were already filling slots like on the tour, and so they were all telling Crosby stories throughout the thing. But she said his Walking in Memphis was a highlight.
Oh, I bet.
I think it was just him on piano doing it.
Yeah. I just love that song.
Great tune.
Okay, let's get caught up here. Hold on a second. Where am I here?
I think we're at Dodge.
Alanis Morissette starting to make the rounds here. Boy, that Jagged
got
Little
shortlisted
Pill
for me.
That's quite an album.
That's one of those songs that just goes right. It just not in a good way. It drives me absolutely insane.
Oh, really?
I can't stand it. Yeah. Sorry.
You're a crow.
Shortlisted for me again.
Here's another Oasis, Champagne Supernova, another great song. Randy's got great picks. Blue Sky Mine, Midnight Oil. I like that album. I just started listening to those guys in the last year. I never really paid any attention to them. Flagpole Sitta by Harvey Danger. I do not know that.
Great song.
Really?
Yeah.
Emmy Lou, Tougher Than the Rest. Oh, a Bruce cover. Einstein on the Beach by Counting Crows.
I think listen to more Counting Crows, I think.
They're getting a lot of great pick, Glenn. Who did I? Oh, Walking in Memphis. Wasn't that Mark Cohen only available on vinyls on MoFi?
Nope, it was available as an original press back in the day. You can still find them.
Sean Colvin. I like Sean Colvin. Sonny Came Home, 1996. I don't know that song, but
good song.
Cool.
Top 2.
We're in the top 2.
All right, number 2. I believe that Rob briefly showed a Goo Goo Dolls record.
Yeah.
I only have their greatest hits because I can't find Dizzy Up the Girl.
Well, I guarantee that this song is on that. It's the song Name.
Love it.
From 1995. I stumbled upon a video of them a couple weeks ago doing it acoustic on some talk show. And I was like, holy crap. Like, I knew the song. But I listened to it again. I'm like, that song is so well written. And the melody is just killer on it. And I sort of have a connection to them because, like I was saying, I went to school near Buffalo. And they're a Buffalo band.
Yep.
And they came to my college before they kind of made it big, and they played at our, campus center for maybe 300 people.
Wow.
And I think that this must have been for their album Superstar Car Wash. And then, of course, they just blew up after that. But I saw them when they were just first starting, though. Starting to build a name for themselves. But I don't know what they're doing now, but that song is great.
They're still doing. They just put out a brand new record 2 or 3 months ago.
But I think the lead singer is the only one left, isn't he?
No, it's always been Johnny Resnick and Robbie Takak. It's still the two of them.
Okay, all right.
And their backing band, their drummer and bass player and guitar player have been with them for like 18 years.
Okay.
And
I just think it's so cool for a band to come out of a place like Buffalo, New York, and for them to make it huge worldwide.
Yeah. Do you ever see the video they did? The live video for Iris, where they're downtown Buffalo and it's in a thunderstorm and they're playing in the rain. Just an incredible video.
I must have seen it, but
it's amazing.
Yeah, It's like the definitive version of that song.
Yeah, great band.
Right, Rob?
All right. My number 2, probably not a big surprise to many folks that watch me blabber about these things. From
Spice Girls?
1991, one of my favorite albums, Octung Baby.
Nice.
And there's many songs up here I could pick, but I mean, like I love Who's Gonna Ride Your Wild Horses. I love Even Better Than the Real Thing. I love Mysterious Ways, but I have to pick the giant of them all. One.
Yeah.
I mean,
Almost made my list.
Saved,
It was on my first list that I made.
the song that saved U2's career. I mean, they were on the verge of breakup and they wrote that song, and it's incredible.
That's
It's
a
an
very
incredible
strong
song.
record. Have you ever heard Johnny Cash's version?
I was gonna say, Chris, I just picked up a few of the American albums, and I listened to that version the other day, and I was like, man, he really tears that one up.
Stay tuned in a few days for my video review of Songs of Surrender.
Ooh, that's gonna be fun.
Spoiler alert.
Do you like Zooropa?
I love everything U2 put out except Zooropa.
Oh, see, I like that album, and I think it's probably because Johnny Cash sings on the last tune.
The Wanderer.
But I don't know. I kind of like the quirkiness of it. But
I can't get into it. I've got an original vinyl first press from back in the day, and I can't do it.
Yeah. I mean, Octung Baby is better, but
yes.
Yeah.
All right. So this is anybody that knows me, that, you know, when I show albums or I talk about songs that, you know, people might be surprised that I like and things that I dislike and that sort of thing. I was a big fan of the whole boy band movement of the 90s. And so
you kind of look like
Tell me why ain't nothing to everybody now.
well, there's my vocal group, the Backstreet Boys from 1997. I've got to go with Everybody. Backstreet's Back.
Everybody, Backstreet's back.
Remember what I was saying, folks, about how you can like music that's not good? Here we go. So,
well, yeah, and
I mean that's no different than the Spice Girls.
It's really not. It's not. They're
Except
the girl
they're
version.
hotter.
It's the same idea, just a male version. But for
Right.
some reason, I didn't like any of the Spice Girls stuff, but I did like some Backstreet Boys.
Well, here's the thing. There's a really cool thing out now, because I mean, we all know like the Elvis movie that came out last year, the Baz Luhrmann film. He just put out like a deluxe version of the soundtrack. I don't have it. I probably won't buy it. But he did a mashup of Bossa Nova Baby by Elvis, who I know Rob is a big fan of, with Backstreet's Back, and it is so cool how it is just a fun version of it. You should check it out, because they kind of they do Elvis's, like they speed up Elvis's voice just ever so slightly to make it sound like he's like rapping over the Backstreet Boy. It's wild.
Oh my god, that's weird.
You need to check it out.
I'm going to check it out just for that reason.
You need to. It's like people were saying it was like the hidden gem that wasn't on the Elvis movie. But yeah, I mean, I love this. I love the Backstreet Boys. I was trying to go with some other ballads that I was thinking of. I mean, I Want It That Way was one. Larger Than Life was another one. You know, stuff like that. But I had to go with their standard song. So Backstreet Boys.
That's
number
awesome.
2.
Rob's gonna love me for this pick. Blue Rodeo.
Yes.
Rob, I wanted to. There was like three albums I was trying to pick songs from. 5 Days in July, Lost Together, or Casino. They were the three, and I'm going,
Right.
oh man, I love like 15, 20 songs off of this I could pick.
Me too.
And the one I picked, my wife
they're
is disappointed because she wanted me
Blue
to,
Rodeo songs are timeless, so that's why I didn't include them in my 90s list.
my wife wanted me to pick Lost Together because that's her favorite one, and
That's what I thought you would have picked.
Yeah, because we love that song. But I picked the opening track off Casino.
Till I Am
Myself Again.
Yep.
Just a great rock and pop rock song. I mean, just Jim Cuddy's vocals on it are killer. And
first song I ever learned to play on guitar.
Yeah, it's a great song. Yeah,
Speaking of Blue Rodeo, you'll appreciate this, Glenn. I got a text message yesterday from Bob Egan, my buddy that was in Blue Rodeo, and his text message said, "Hey man, I want to do another episode on your YouTube channel."
Oh, cool!
So we're gonna do another one.
Awesome.
And I don't know anything of Blue Rodeo.
You need to.
Oh yeah, that's another band you'd like. For sure.
Start with their debut from 1987 called Outskirts.
Yeah.
I promise you will love it. Knowing the stuff that you will love it. I promise.
Yeah.
And this is just when you said guitar, I just realized the four of us are all musicians here. This is pretty cool.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say I'm a musician. I say I'm barely proficient, but we'll go with that.
Well,
it's always the guys who are really good or always do that. And then you see him play and he's like,
yeah, I'm like Hendrix,
yeah. Yeah. Because I remember Jimi Hendrix getting interviewed by Dick Cavett, and Dick Cavett saying, you're the greatest guitar player in the world. And he goes, no, I'm the greatest guitar player sitting in this chair right now. Okay, let's get caught up here. See if there's anything I missed. Of course, my mouse stops. My mouse goes to sleep on me. There we go. Yes, Lift Me Up. I don't know that song. Anybody?
Yes, I don't know.
no.
Drive, REM.
Great tune.
Great song. Great opener.
Cure for Pain, Morphine. I've heard of the band, but I don't know too much about them. Another Collective Soul.
Great song.
Come on, Rob. Susanna Hoff's second
Listen.
album, 1996.
Oh,
I love.
Susanna.
I mean, Susanna Hoffs could sing me my tax return, and I'd be absolutely smitten. It doesn't matter, but doesn't make my list. But she's in my heart forever.
That'd be kind of embarrassing if she put your tax return on an album.
Whatever. She
How
could
does the
do
man
what-
live on $22,000 a year?
She could do whatever she wanted.
Especially when her eyes go back and forth.
Oh, I need a minute, boy. Excuse me.
Let your freak flag fly, Sam. I'm with you with the
There you
backstory.
go, Chance.
Chance loves the boy bands.
Chance,
Holy
let's talk.
shite. Sam, I'm crushing on the backside, boys. Perfect.
Chance, we should do a podcast on the boy bands, and then you'd lose subscribers.
Yeah,
But
that's
it'd be a
awesome.
good time.
Okay.
Speaking of podcasts, you know who's got a podcast coming out next week? This guy and this guy right over there. Yeah.
We're
Glenn
gonna
and I are
one.
doing the podcast next week.
We're doing that on Thursday night?
Yep.
Okay, cool.
Awesome.
Cool.
Awesome. Number
This is
one.
The big reveal.
Drum roll.
All right. Well, I think Rob and I had reverse thoughts because I think this was his number 10. It's my number 1 off
Wow.
White Album of the 90s, Bullet with Butterfly Wings off of Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness. Yes, this is the vinyl edition. And I just love this record and I love that song. And you were right, Rob, when you said there are certain songs when you hear them, you think of the 90s. And when I hear "The World is a Vampire," dum, 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 it's just so heavy. And yeah, my number 1. I love
Wow.
the Smashing Pumpkins.
Awesome.
Rob.
Oh yeah, my turn. So
Was that your number 10, Rob?
that was my 10. Yeah. My number 1 is from a little tiny album I don't know if a lot of people have heard of called Oasis. What's the Story?
Oh, there we go.
Oh,
I agree with Sam. I think this album is a perfect 10. This I've talked about this I've talked about this album on several videos on my channel. It holds a very important place in the soundtrack of my life. It is forever tied to a certain summer back when I was a teenager with a certain young lady. No, and I don't mean that in a dirty way. I mean
No, right.
that it was a very important summer for me and that individual, and it marks some very poignant moments in my life. And so anything off of here could have been incredible for me. I almost went Champagne Supernova
great song.
because I think that song is a masterpiece. But I got to agree with Sam. Don't Look Back in Anger. That is just, I love Noel Gallagher and I love everything about that song. And I will forever associate that song with this album more so than any others. And I just, yeah.
I thought you might pick it.
Yep.
Wow, very cool.
Without
I think
question.
what I've learned in this couple hours we spent together is that Rob is the man. I mean, he's got a song associated with girls galore.
It's actually the same girl, both
She's
stories.
a player.
Oh, okay.
No,
Yeah.
it's the same.
It's
It's
the
the same girl.
girl.
It's the same girl.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you're still the man.
I don't know about that, but
Yeah. Anything
Legend in my
from
own
my
mind.
teenage years, with girls, I would have to pick "Loser" by Beck. That would be because I was
Wow.
I thought a song from when you were a teenager would be Beethoven
Oh no, that was something from the jazz singer Al
or
Jolson.
Bach or something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was probably "Mammy."
You sure it wasn't "You Don't Bring Me Flowers" by Neil Diamond?
Yeah. Sam, number one. It's got to be Petty.
Well, here's the thing.
Or Wilburys.
No, that was
thought
80s.
I thought the Wilburys, the second album was from 91.
Yeah, but there's no good songs on that album.
Oh yes.
That's not true.
Yes, there
I
is.
almost picked House of Stone. I mean, I almost picked Poor House on that album. No, it's Petty. It's from the same album as that Glenn chose, and it is the rocker on the album You Wreck Me. It's my favorite track off of the Wildflowers album. I mean, it was one of those songs that once that song existed, that was kind of like his first song in the encore. That from that point up until close to the end, and just that killer, bow, bow, ba-dum, and then you have the on the hi hat, the drums, and then bow, bow, ba-dum, bop. It's not grunge because Petty didn't do grunge. The closest we ever got was like Cabin Down Below or Honeybee, excuse me. But it's just a rocking song. It's one that I like to play on guitar myself, and I think it's just a perfect Tom Petty song, and so cool that he had a song like that. Almost 20 years after he started, but to show that he still had that rocking side to him.
Great song.
Wow, very cool. Tom Petty had to be number one. So I'm going to pick a song from what I think was the best album of the 90s. Dylan's Time Out of Mind. And it's not dark yet.
But
it's
getting there.
Great freaking lyric. Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, what a great lyric.
Not even room enough to be anywhere. It's not dark yet, but it's getting there.
But it's getting there.
Oh, that's the number one album of the 90s. Yeah, so anyway, that's my number one.
And I see in the comments Randall Nelson agrees with
you. I think he did, yeah. Hootie was in the 90s, wasn't he?
Hold My Hand was on my short list.
There you go, Doc. One, you two.
There you go.
Yeah. There's Randall.
I think Michael Nesmith's album Tropical Campfires came out in the 90s.
Oh, really?
Yes, like 90 or 91.
That's a great album.
Did I ever tell you Randy Nelson's got the best taste in music?
Did you ever say
that? Octung Baby's a great album, but drenched in overproduction.
Wow.
Huh.
Nice call, Randy. Steve's with us, so Steve agrees.
He shows up at the tail end.
Come on, guys. Nobody has mentioned the Verve.
That was shortlisted for me, Roy. It was about number 13.
That was a song that was played on the radio for me, Roy. It's a good song, but
that song was actually mentioned that I should use that song by somebody, Doc or somebody, when we were doing our other video.
Oh, sure.
Urban Hymns. I'm on the hunt for that on vinyl.
What about on that song "Kiss Me"? Was that from the 90s?
Sixpence None the Richer.
Sixpence None the Richer. Yeah.
Yep.
It's great tune.
Great song.
I also had Buddy Holly by Weezer was on my list.
Yeah, great song.
I had Brick by Ben Folds 5.
I also had
wow.
You'll appreciate this. I had Cloud number 9 by Bryan Adams on my list.
Really? I hate that song.
I like that song a lot. Have you heard the acoustic? The acoustic version is much better.
Yes, agreed.
From Bare Bones.
Oh,
agreed.
Man. What did I have? I'm trying to see if I still have my old list.
I had Spin Doctors on mine, Two Princes.
Wheat Kings by Tragically Hip. I had that. Shine by Junk House.
Ooh, good one.
Yeah.
Not Shine by Collective Soul. Interesting.
No Voivod?
I don't know. Yeah, bunch. Man.
Canadian metal? No.
That was cool.
Any,
Wow, that was good, guys.
some God Gave Rock and Roll to You by Kiss.
Yeah, not one of my favorites.
The Argent recycled song.
So we got about 15 minutes left. So while we got it, why don't you guys talk about your channels for a second? Chris?
Yeah, I've got a YouTube channel. I've been doing this for about 3 years or so, and anybody who watches me, you know that you're going to see a wide variety of stuff. I mean, even tonight I talked about Ice Cube, I talked about some folk music with the Indigo Girls, but then I talk about Rage Against the Machine, and then I'm throwing out the name Michael Nesmith. So I'm kind of all over the place, and I think it's just because I just love music, and I just soak everything up that's music. And anybody I talk to, when they tell me bands that they like, I get excited and I listen to them, and it just adds to my musical library in my head, but also the physical library that I have, because I've got like 1,300 records, like 5,000 or 4,000 CDs, and a couple hundred cassettes. So I have a pretty vast.
No, don't forget.
Yeah, I have a pretty vast musical library, and really, it sounds. I mean, that's all I think about is music all the time, and
yeah,
and I really should be thinking about important things, but for whatever reason, music just takes up a lot of space in my head.
Me too.
So that's what I try to share on my channel, and yeah, that's what I do. So.
And is your contest still going, or is it over now?
Yeah, I got a contest going until April 17th. It's
17th.
celebrating. I just recently did my 900th video, so it's just 3 questions. So there's still time to enter. I mean, the response has been crazy. I think I've got close to 70 entries.
That's amazing. Wow. I guess I'm not going to win that one then.
But yeah, and I love everybody
lottery.
that I when I first started my channel, I didn't know what was going to happen with it, and one of the things that I think is great is all the people that I've met.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's the best part.
Even just to sit down and talk with you guys has been awesome, and all my other friends that I made through the VC. So, it just goes to show you that music brings us all together.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I was going to mention. Oh, Steve is watching here from All the World's a Stage. Have you watched him challenging himself to do as many videos as you do?
I did see that. That was funny.
Yeah.
And I think I wrote back to him. I was like, obviously, I have no life.
And now Steve doesn't either. He's putting out videos faster than I can watch them.
Yeah. I kind of go through those times where, during the pandemic, sometimes I'd make 3 videos in a day.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just because, I was home teaching, and, we had a lot of extra time, and, but I'll go through days where I don't make videos, and then I don't know, you guys know, then you get the spark, and
yeah,
you end up making a couple in a day, and I don't know, it just kind of comes and goes.
I try and do one every other day.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's too much, not enough, but
I got to keep up with Jeff Witcher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how he freaking does it. Those deep dive videos.
Yeah, and he actually does like some investigating and some studying before he does his videos.
I guess it took him 6 hours to put together one of the Depeche Mode videos he was doing. And I mean, the guy's got a family, he works, and I don't know how the heck he puts these deep dives. I mean, literally what I do, guys, is I just set my camera up and I click record. That's all I do. There's no editing. I don't know how to edit. And it is what it is. A lot of times I'll record my mistakes and people call me on it, but I just figure it is what it is.
Yeah.
So.
I do the same, actually. I just, the only time I put into it is pulling some records to show. Other than that, everything's just out of my head as I don't write anything down.
But it's funny though, because, and I think you guys would agree, like you all are the only people that I can talk with about this, because there's nobody else in my life that shares my passion for music. Like when I go to work, I'll mention something about the wallflowers or something, and people will be like, "Who are the wallflowers?"
Yeah.
And that's why this is important for us, because we need each other in our lives, because it kind of validates what we do.
Exactly.
And you
That's
don't
awesome.
feel like you're freaking crazy.
Yeah.
No, you don't hold in all that information.
There's other crazy people too.
There's other crazy people out there, and I think it's good. I mean, music is freaking amazing.
Yeah. That's
Well
great.
said.
Well said. Well said. How about Rob? What are you up to?
Well, I did last week. I did an episode with Concert Buddy, which is now on the Violent Community podcast, and Glenn and I are recording one on Thursday night that'll be on the podcasts next week, which will, and the video will also be on my channel. I won't say what it's about yet. And I'm going to do Chris's contest in the next couple days.
You better.
Absolutely, man. I promise. I've got it ready to go. I just need to sit down and do it, because I don't just hit record and upload it. I like the editing and all that. So a 20-minute video takes me 4 hours. So
That's
I'll
cool.
I'll find time this weekend. I'm looking forward to doing it though. And
Nice.
I got a couple more that are ready to shoot. It's just I've been so crazy busy with work that hopefully this weekend I'll get a couple more out.
Yeah. Awesome.
Sam, what are you up to? You finished your Beatle countdown.
I did, and it did not get the response I was hoping for, but it was still fun to do.
Well, as soon as you put Strawberry Fields at number 120, I think everybody turned it off.
But yeah, because they realized. Yeah. Anyway. I finished. I ranked all 211 Beatles songs of their traditional catalog, and I'm happy to get back to normal videos. I mean, I just did a concert review on AJ Croce that I really enjoyed. I just did my vinyl finds that everybody does, but I'm trying to get more into a little bit more informative videos. So I've kind of got a album that shaped me series on hold that I'd like to get back into, where I talk about albums that kind of raised me musically. Obviously, I'm on Rich Strickler's channel. Feels like every other day with something, but Glenn and I are part of his Authentic Rock and Roll Hall of Fame series, which we just finished our 1971 video tonight. 72. 71 tonight. So that'll be up tomorrow or the next day. And then
that means anybody who released their first album in 1971 was eligible.
Right. So we have that coming. We just recently did a video with Randall Nelson where we ranked the songs on Every Picture Tells a Story for our classic album series.
That was good.
Which is kind of on hold while we do this series, but we'll use it to fill in kinks if we ever have a week where we just can't record. So I'm all over the place with that, and then if things pop in my head, I'll do it. Sometimes I'll go live and play guitar, which Chris Propfe does as well.
Yeah, you guys both do that so well.
And so hopefully, I haven't done that in a while. I need to do it again. I have a gig coming up on the 4th of May, Star Wars Day. So I need to practice a little bit more.
Wow.
But that should be coming up. I'll probably do one of these weekends. Not this weekend. This weekend's crazy busy, but hopefully soon.
Let me in on the thing here. What's Star Wars Day?
May the 4th be with you.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's that, Chris?
You know what song I'd like to hear you sing? I don't know if you've done it before. Auntie's Municipal Court by the Monkees.
Wow, I've never tried it. I'd love the song.
It's an easy song, man. I believe it's in G.
Okay.
So it's like 3 chords, but Nesmith wrote it, as you know, but Mickey sang it, but it's a great tune.
Well, you mentioned that you were also working on trying to do Magnolia Sims. I need to hear
Magnolia Sims, yeah.
Come to fruition.
Yeah, that's a great song too.
Yep. Glenn, what do you have coming?
Me? I traded in a bunch of stuff at a record store, Zap Records in Coburg, Ontario, and about half an hour from my house about a month ago. And I have a credit there for $140, and I haven't been able to get to the store to spend it.
Wow.
And then I traded in 7 records yesterday at a local store, and I got $50. So now I have $190. And then my wife gave me $60 to spend for Easter.
Nice.
So I had $250. And I drove to Coburg, Ontario today and spent almost $300 on records.
Nice.
Wow.
And I bought a ton of stuff, and I'm so excited. I'm going to do a video. I don't want to even say what I bought, because tomorrow morning I'm going to record a video and put them all up. I could probably get about, I don't know, 10 records maybe. I think cool stuff.
Were they mostly? You don't have to say what they are, but were they new records, like brand
Some
new?
Some new, a couple used.
Okay.
Yeah, all over the place. Yeah.
So it sounds like you traded in quite a few records.
Well, actually, what I traded in was I had the McCartney Archive series, the first two. I had Band on the Run and the McCartney album on the Archive series sets, and they go for good money, but they're the worst. They're the worst ones of the sets. Like they're only like 2 CDs, and you can just buy the small little one with the same CDs on them. You don't need a big book. And they were just sitting on the shelf, and my buddy gave me money enough that whatever I paid for them, I got back. So
right.
I was happy he can make a few bucks on them, and so that's where the bulk of the money came from, just those 2 sets.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that reminds me, Glenn. In the next probably 2 weeks, I'm coming to Coburg for work.
no friggin' way. Let's meet up.
Absolutely. I don't know.
We'll go to Zap Records.
I'll let you know. I'm just not sure
Don't
what
do it
date.
on a Monday.
I'll let you know.
Okay, just don't do it on Monday,
I won't.
because he's closed on Mondays.
I can't do it on a Monday anyway, but it'll be like
Okay,
midweek.
we'll go for lunch. We'll do. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, I'm
I'll let you know.
excited.
Yeah.
Awesome. That's great. Wow. Very cool. Yeah, and that's all I'm up to pretty much, is just gonna spin some new records.
That's one thing I want to do.
And you're fulfilling your lifelong dream of being on the Violent Community podcasts.
Yes, that's gonna be pretty cool. Me on a podcast. Can you believe it?
No, one of those things that kind of goes back to what Chris was saying about this outlet. It does make you. It gives me a drive to travel, to meet up with people, like you all. I mean, I've traveled to Asheville to meet my friend Tommy, who I know is a mutual friend of a lot of us in North Carolina. I've been to his house a couple times, stayed the night, become really good friends with him. Obviously, Glenn and I play music together, and I really want to travel up to Philly to see Rich. And obviously, I mean, to see Chris would be awesome. I've told Gary I want to go to Ohio and have a beer with him. I mean, I had that incentive to travel to these places, to go to, to see, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, in Cleveland, but to know, hey, I'm in Ohio, I had to stay a couple days, and maybe Gary and I could hang out.
Yeah.
It's always in the back of my mind.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I'm the same way. It's kind of like, like next April, I'm probably going to Philly, so I told Rich, I said already, I'm planning it a year down the road, going, I'm going to be in Philly next April.
That's cool.
Well, it's funny because I look at all of you guys as like celebrities. Like today, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to be on Glenn Kellaway's.
Yeah,
I'm going to be on Glenn Kellaway's channel, and Rob's going to be there, and Sam St. John. Like, you guys are like, we're all like, I don't know. I look at you guys as like celebrities.
Well, you as well. I mean, you're Mr. 3,000 subs.
Yeah, no kidding.
So I don't know. It's kind of cool.
Sam and I are nothing compared to you guys.
We've all got something cool going here. So
yeah, it's pretty neat. Yeah, just no shorts.
Yeah,
I'm wearing shorts right now.
I try to keep as much of my body covered as I can.
Yeah, yes, good idea. I wasn't referring to those kind of shorts, but yes, it's a good idea to keep those ugly legs.
This time of year, more of it comes out.
Yeah.
What do we got? October. Oh, Drenson, are we doing? Nice call, Randy. Come on, guys. Nobody's mentioned. Oh, we already did that.
We did all those before.
Oh, Steve is advertising. Are you watching this show at all, Chris, on Steve's channel where he does a spin on this and he interviews somebody from him and Gary?
You know what? I've seen a couple of them, but
they're so funny.
Yeah, I think he was trying to get me on one of them at one point. I don't know if he still likes me anymore, so we'll have to see.
No, I've never been asked. I guess I'm not nice enough or something.
No, I haven't been asked either. He only asks the good people. He doesn't ask us.
Well, but him and Gary gave me a hard time because I had to reschedule 2 or 3 times, and they said I was a prima donna. So,
who was just on last week? It was really good. Oh, Brian from Embryonic.
Brian. Yeah. And Gary said, "How was it writing? She blinded me with science."
Yeah. Hey, Royce.
Hey, Royce.
No, the question that got me on that show was Gary asked me. He said, "If you were Pinocchio, who would be your Geppetto, Glenn or Rich?"
Yeah. I've seen emails where Glenn really shows Randy a ton of love. Not, oh yeah, well that was just a baseball fantasy thing because he kicked our ass in baseball fantasy last year. I was just bitter. Other than that, I love Randy.
Oh,
Coming after you, Chris. Uh-oh.
Here we go.
You're right, Doc.
Not only is he trying to catch me with videos.
Angel by Sarah McLachlan. I don't like Sarah McLachlan for some reason. I just can't get into her. She's really talented, but for some reason I just don't really. Nope. For a singer-songwriter, which I like that kind of stuff, she doesn't do it for me.
Stone Temple Pilots.
Interstate, yeah, Stone Temple Pilots. Yeah.
Great song.
LOL, Randy. Rachel seems like she's on 24/7 because she is.
Yeah.
She never sleeps. Never knew who Bernie Grundman was until I watched Vinyl Videos. Yeah, exactly. You learn a lot about
him, Chris Bellman,
yeah.
Stephen Wilson. I didn't know who these people were.
Hit that like button, folks.
John's probably going to do the after show on his
channel. Likes. Let's go. Look at that. Stumpus. Chris, you know what Stumpus is? Our trivia question. When you see the word Stumpus come up, that means someone's going to ask us a trivia question.
Oh, here we go.
The Rising Suns.
Look how happy he is.
What with a tough question?
Well, he will, but it won't be about music. It'll be about some deep cut movie reference.
The Rising Suns. Now, give me a clap for that one, John. Great show.
Thank
Glenn,
you,
Rob, Sam, and Chris. Thank you.
Yeah, I want to thank you guys.
Yeah, she was big in the 90s, man.
Oh, yeah. Thank you for coming, Chris.
No, I appreciate you guys having me on.
Yeah, thank you so much, Chris. This was great. Chris. I guess we're at the end of the night. It's a 2 hour.
Good to finally meet you virtually, my friend.
Yeah, I was happy to meet you too, Rob. I watch your videos, but I have never done a live show with you, so this is cool.
Yeah.
And our videos, Chris, are always too few and far between, so it's always good to.
Yeah, it's been a long time, and I haven't done anything with Jeff and all them in a while too. We got to get back on track with that as well. I think the thing is, you guys know, life kind of catches up, and for whatever reason, a couple months goes by, you're like, oh crap, we haven't done a live stream in a while. So
yeah. Well, you're welcome anytime you want to drop by on a Tuesday, and I see you in there. If you want to come on, you're more than welcome anytime.
Awesome, I appreciate it.
You're one guy who would have an open invitation.
Thank you.
Awesome. Well, thanks everybody.
Yeah, guys.
Great night. Fun doing it. So next week, are we going to do the 2000s, like 2000 to 2010?
I'm fine.
Why not?
Okay,
we're in with a new
guest.
Be hard. No. Whoever that is.
Randall's going. See you. Royals last chance in the 9th. There we go.
We're up 4-1.
Okay, guys. Thanks everyone.
Thanks, guys.
Have a great night.
Night.